Yeah, so tonight we back. Patterdale Terrier Talk. Back with my man Marshall. And yeah, tonight we're gonna talk about the earth dogs, not the Patterdale, of course, but earth dogs in general is getting stuck underground. There was a little situation in the UK recently where there was a dog stuck under the ground. How many days was it? Do you know how many days was it?
I want to say 7 tops, but it can't be any more than 7, I think.
Yeah, because I remember the last time. Matter of fact, you told me about it the last time we was on here, and I didn't even know about it till you told me about it. Then I went and checked it out, and I think the dog got out two days after that. Well, they got the dog out 2 days after that.
They got that dog out via just like sledging and cracking small parts of rock to basically be able to get like their hand in there and pull it out. And I think
Yeah.
really had like a tube they were giving that dog food and water from in that space. So that's probably how it made it that long in the first place.
Yes, and I do got a little clip I'll play of a little news clip of them talking about it. Back up. Pups is in here, but a little news clip of them talking about it. This is a question I have for you. Now, I got another video, old school video that me and you talked about that I'm gonna play in a little while. That they were digging for, I think it was 7-8 days. How long? This is a question. How long would you dig for your dog? And would it matter the dog and how long you had her, how game it is, or she is, or he is, or or it's just your dog in general, or you got more, you just figure out a way with another dog, or all that come into play. What would your be thing where it's like, how long would you dig?
I think I would just kind of keep going as long as I had to go. Like I've had friends who have done multiple day digs or come back after their job, still try to dig and work for their dog. And at the end of the day, like if I'm cutting the dog out in a space and it got to somewhere I couldn't get it, like that's on me. That's not on the dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's my screw up. And I've definitely learned from some screw ups. Like I've had to dig under like stone slabs. That shit sucks, and it's
Yeah,
really
that's
yeah.
the worst when you gotta dig through. I mean, you're not digging, you're fucking moving rock at that point.
Oh, you use a digging bar and you try to get under it and you try to wedge and like move it up, and so someone
Yeah,
else
yeah.
dog for you and not get crushed. Or you get a sledgehammer and you just sledge as hard as you fucking can to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to my cousin about it, and he was saying just his experience. Some people, there's people that would dig all day just in general. Then there's some people who might depending on how their kennel's looking. There's people where if it's like if they got 12 more Patterdales or 12 more Earth Dogs back at home, they might not care, or they might not as dig as long as someone who only has two or three or one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, like I would
That's
hope
irresponsible.
if you're that well established, you have like a good route and like you know where you're hunting, and you're not just like collecting like a cluster of patterdales. Like
And I've if I haven't seen it happen a lot, but I've bumped into one or two people who just kept too many Patterdales. And what people don't know too is that Patterdale. I mean, some people know, of course, and people who don't know about the Patterdale, but Patterdales can get dog aggressive.
yeah, especially if they're bored. Boredom usually kicks that shit into high gear pretty fast.
I've seen a few that were pretty dog aggressive. I had a couple friends that had to had several Patterdales, and it was just one or two that it was like, and it could have been on them. They might not spend enough time, you know, getting acclimated, or getting it used to other dogs. But yeah, they ended up with Patterdales that were kind of turned up.
Yeah, I feel like the key thing is that like when you're like really young and they want to get all feisty and shit, that's when you start putting them on fur that they can handle, like little rats and stuff like that. Letting them
Hmm.
figure out that like put your energy into getting bit and biting those things back, not dogs, because I'm gonna kick your butt if you go after dogs.
Yeah, yep. Turn the energy on to something else.
Yeah.
Only makes sense. So yeah, they were as far I mean, and I actually seen other videos where people have let their dog, which kind of sucks because I mean, I guess you're probably trying to. You good? You can see me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh yeah, probably. I guess people, if you got like a cabin or something. So there was one instance I seen. You had a cabin, and you're trying to get the groundhogs from under the cabin or whatever it is from under the cabin, and you send the dogs under whatever, but then they end up getting stuck, and you gotta rip the fucking cabin floor open.
Yeah, have you been skunked yet?
Have I been skunked?
Yeah, like been digging and you smell like skunk and you gotta
No,
dig.
I haven't been skunk digging. I've dealt with skunks where living in the city, and it was my house now. My old dog Bentley, he passed away. He was a pit bull, and I just sometimes I just let him out front, get home, let him out front to go to the bathroom real quick, and not think nothing of it. But this time there happened to be a skunk across the street, and he just dashed out and grabbed the skunk and got sprayed directly in his face. And
My
and
brother
it's
got one once.
and that shit, yeah, that's the worst because he was basically in the back hallway for about a month, to be honest, because the smell was just like, it doesn't. No matter what you do, I was ordering stuff off the internet, doing home remedies, Dawn, oh man, well, you name it, I tried it, and there was still a smell.
Yeah, I mean, the one time Henry got one was kind of crazy because my friend's terrier pushed one out and it ran out of the brush and didn't spray yet. And Henry got it and crunched it. And when the spray came out, it just came out like jello and just hit the ground because I guess wherever he bit it, it must have like screwed up its spraying. So we didn't get sprayed, but like that jello stuff just smelled like death.
Was it like a blood clot type thing? Like did blood? You think did it look bloody? Like blood got into it, and that's what
Yeah,
made it
white and like I don't know. I guess
pussy.
he crunched wherever it was going to do that. He just got it right in time.
Man, hey, I've seen porcupines. I've seen a bad. Actually, one of the dogs I love, Boom, my cousin's Patterdale. He got he got hit in the face with a porcupine by a porcupine bad. But him, he grabbed it, snatched it up, shook it up, whatever, did his little thing, and then let go of it. Already got hit, and then decided to go grab it again. Then got hit again. Had
Oof.
just all in his face, man. All in his mouth, all in his face. It was a bad hit. But yeah, back to the earth dogs getting stuck on the ground. Let me share this clip of the recent one that happened week and a half ago or whatever.
That'd be cool. That's the cool part about YouTube is being able to share clips like this and actually see them properly.
Yeah, definitely. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
We told you about Rose. Rose is a Jack Russell cross who was rescued from a cliff face in West Yorkshire.
So this was the moment she was freed. It was 1 week after falling through the small crack in the rocks there. Rose owners said volunteers have been working day and night.
7
Eventually
days.
reached her after using heavy machinery to drill into the rock. I think at the beginning of that, you did see how narrow that gap was. What was it, 12, 18 inches
12
or something?
inches, yeah. And she'd fallen in. They were feeding her. So like 8 days it took to get her. She was taken straight away to the vet for recovering. She's recovering now.
All is well.
Lovely Rose. Yesterday, you may
Lovely Rose.
I like how they both said one said 7, the other said 8 at the same damn time.
You said what?
One person said 7 days, the other person said 8 days right after that.
Yeah. She said it took them one day, said 7 days, and then she said, yeah, it took them 8 days. So, hey, either seven or 8, either or.
Could you possibly get that video back on and like pause it right when they pull that dog out of the little corner chasm? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, hold on, let me see. This is actually, hold on, let me go to the share. But
You don't even need the volume for it. Just to, like, be able to see that little chasm. Because that's a sketchy spot.
Let me see.
That looks like a side of a cliff.
Nah, I mean that's another thing. Like, what was this dog doing up? You talking about right there?
Yeah. Like, he's pulling that dog out of like a crack on the ground. Literally, like,
The crack on the side of the.
yeah.
It's
So what I
Yeah.
understand from one thing I read is that he was just walking the dog and the ground caved in from that spot and it fell down. I don't know if this was like an intentional dig.
Yeah. So this one, if you see, let me see. You can see this video, right?
Yeah. Yeah, dude literally is like squeezing all the way in there. Like, I'm wondering if that dog was like right side up. That I guess if it was upside down, it would have been dead. Because there's no way it could be upside down for 8 days. It's not happening.
Like you said, I mean, let me stop that. I mean, you see the amount of work they was doing. I mean, they're cutting rock for days, getting to it. I mean, that's a lucky dog. There's a lot of people that wouldn't have did that. That dog would have just been still in there to this day.
I think
Obviously not alive. But.
Biggs' friends, I think they lost a dog in like a water tower and they got it back after a couple of days.
Hey man, if you ask me, it's a lucky dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's difficult. That's a lot of work. And I mean, I guess to say you would have to have the friends willing to help, the connections to willing to help or the tools, because those are not, those are tools they're using to cut that rock and get that dog out of there. That ain't just no hammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
They're cutting big ass rocks. So I mean, I guess that would have to come in play too. You would have to, know someone who knows someone or something.
No, that's wild. At least they stuck with it, and it sounds like they had terrier men come from different parts of the UK to help out with that too.
That's what you got to do.
I mean, it sounds like the fire department just put their hands up because like it was just too sus, and I kind of almost don't blame them because chipping rock in that corner, if they chipped it the wrong way or something and shit starts coming down, like they're just in that corner, they're fucked.
Yeah, and I mean that's a whole nother. That comes into their play where they're not. I mean, they're firemen. Respectfully, they're gonna help. They don't have 7 days to spend trying to get a dog out of a rock. You know what I mean? There's people that, this firemen get called for a lot of other things than fires.
Yeah, I mean, there's people. There's probably different stories of dogs getting stuck in mine shafts too. I imagine those mine shafts are probably pretty sus. But like,
There's probably a million dogs that got stuck. Million stories of dogs that got stuck. But how many of them make the news or people even talk about it? Some people they might talk about it with their fellow hunters, and then it stays right there in that crowd, in that group. You know what I mean?
yeah. Speaking of that, did you hear about that one coonhound who got stuck in the tree and got mummified? After like I don't know how many years, they eventually found that dog. It's literally just like a mummy, like perfectly preserved in that hollow tree.
No, I didn't hear about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to that, but it is crazy. Like this dog literally is like it's like perfectly intact, but like just like it looks like an undead dog. It's like stuck in this tree. Like I guess they went coon hunting and it went to go get a raccoon and went up the hollow tree and then it could never find it. And I guess like 30, 40 years something later, they found it.
The same people found it, or someone else found it?
Someone else found it.
That would be crazy if the same people found it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of crazy stories of earth dogs getting caught, getting stuck underground. Well, let me ask you this: just an earth dog. Since I just said earth dog, do you have a favorite earth dog, or and what is the best earth dog you think, or it just depends on the dog or the training or
It
the
depends on the area.
line?
I think the area you're at matters a lot too, like the location you're at. I feel like it all just varies so much upon location. Like what might work well, I could we're in the same place, so what works well for you works well for me. But like what works well for me and you might not work well for someone in like Oklahoma or someone like in Louisiana.
Nah, you're definitely right. Like out here, honestly, where we're at, smaller dogs will work because it's so rocky and you're gonna have to dig. But then, because it's not a lot of open land. It's a lot of
Yeah,
rocky, trees everywhere and stuff. But then if you go to like, the deep New York, Buffalo and stuff like that, where people just there's a whole bunch of open land where you could catch a groundhog just running across. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I feel like here it's probably small dogs, but like I'm also like so tempted to try and just find some barns where I could use like that boomerang size Patterdale, like for like
And
that.
that's what you're gonna need because these the coons and stuff close to the city can get kind of big.
Yeah, I want to go find like a barn full of like ones dead of winter. That's where I'm trying to be at if I can.
Yeah, we can make some phone calls and hit up some people with farms and stuff like that. Someone's gonna need us. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna have them in there,
But yeah,
especially
especially
when it comes to
hates stuff stored.
farms and stuff.
Tired of the raccoons crapping in that. That's what I'm trying to do really this winter, and also I'm trying to do some ratting soon. I've been procrastinating. I honestly, if you want, this weekend we can just go ratting. We can maybe even like go live with some of that shit.
We could, we could. Actually, I have to pick it up from him, but I know my cousin got the GoPro and I got the whole chest thing and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll get into that. And
Crazy thing is that the guy who was like talking in our live last time, my friend Caleb, the the brother to his dog lives in Boston, and she does barn hunt for Boston, and she wants to go ratting. It's just so crazy how small world it is.
so we might have to all just get up one day and hit the city.
Yeah,
Or and hit. I would definitely love to hit some barns with some coons in it because, as you know, I got pit bulls as well as a Patterdale. So you know, I would definitely like to let them have some fun. I should say.
yeah, we just gotta make sure that it's a barn with enough raccoons. Because the thing is, if we have 3 or 4 big dogs and the small dogs are in the back getting action, those big dogs are just gonna freaking scream. They're gonna be
Yeah,
they're gonna be so
yeah.
fun.
I tend to honestly though. I kind of let the or what I like to do is let the little dogs put in some work, and then when it's time to end it, send the big dogs in.
Yeah, we could just have a bunch of them in the car and just one big dog out at a time, so that way.
Exactly. That's what we would do because, like you said, it would just be too much. It would just be too much at first to have 3, 4 big dogs in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're trying to hold them while we're doing this and doing that. So
yeah. My Lurcher Henry's actually pretty good at falling back when it comes to the circumstances. So I've had him out a bunch of times, and like he'll just hang up by the exit hole or a space where he knows something's gonna pop out and just wait for his shot.
yeah, well, that's good. Pit bulls are a little different.
Well, yeah, they're terriers too. They just want to press.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be fun, but we definitely got to do that. I was actually talking to my cousin, trying to get out, to some of these farms, and a lot of there was particularly one farm we went to, and I mean they had like in the back just a pile of basically just not really wood, just broken down trees and sticks. And in front of that, on your walk there, there's like a field of corn. And when I tell you these raccoon, they had to eat about. I mean, I don't know how it goes money wise, but they ate a great amount of corn. I mean, this guy lost a lot of money.
I bet.
With the amount of corn, and the way it looked, it wasn't no 3, 4, 5 raccoons. You know what I mean? It's a good amount of corn and the size field and the size you know what I mean? The amount of corn, like the size, like they just dead corn that they messed up was like, it's like, damn. Like it was kind of surprising, honestly, that he didn't invest in like some type of deterrent. Like he did. It was surprising, like he didn't invest in his own couple of dogs or something at this point. You know what I mean? The amount of corn that I seen him lost just when I was there. You know what I mean? Because of these raccoons, it was like, damn, you didn't invest in a couple, just any type of dog at this point, just to bark them off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where was that spot?
I think it was in Leominster.
Okay, that ain't far at all from you.
No. That's why I said we could. It's definitely like, yeah, probably like for me, it's maybe like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think being in Paxton, I'm probably close to all this.
Probably.
I got
but yeah, either way, like you said, it's a quick drive. I think it was in Leominster because there's about 3 farms we go to. And the one in Leominster is the one I'm pretty sure I'm talking about. It's a nice sized farm. There's like 2 sides to it. You know what I mean? Guy, it's a nice sized farm.
Yeah, I was waiting for some guy in Rutland who had a pretty decent sized farm. And if the guy wasn't such an asshole, I would have definitely been like, "Can I please hunt over here?"
Yeah, these guys are actually cool. And my cousin has it to the point where really he doesn't even have to really tell him he's coming. The people kind of seen us so much where it's kind of like, oh, how you guys doing? You guys are here with the dogs to see if you guys see anything again. You know what I mean? Kind of like that type thing. So he got in, we're good people, and the wife and the husband that owns the farm, they're good people. So there's no reason for like them to even really, or to not really let us, unless they wanted to leave the rodents on their farm. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like just an all love thing. And yeah, they let us come through and do our thing when we want. And yeah, we try to take advantage of that. So yeah, we could definitely go through. And there be rabbits out there, but we don't have the dogs to catch them, but you do.
Yeah, as long as they just keep them out the brush, then that my dog can catch them. You can catch them on a straight line, but like even then, those rabbits, they can turn on a dime.
On a dime. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I remember one time I was doing earthwork in these like hedgerow, and this person owned the property, hunted beagles. And these beagles were just pushing rabbits left and right while we were doing earthwork. It was so distracting because like I was trying to focus on getting the groundhog, and this freaking dog was just like hearing beagles howl around right in the corner of his eye and being like, I need to run over there. Because he knew he already was game 1 over there too.
Yeah. If they're howling, he knows they see something. Hey man, we definitely gotta get out. Once my pup gets a little. Next summer will be good though. Next summer should be about a year, and then should be about a year. Should be a year in April. So next summer should be about a year, ready to really get busy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, we can still go ratting. That's why I said we gotta go ratting sooner than later, because we can.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I was saying as far as the farms, but ratting we could do that. Even in the winter, because there's rats. They're everywhere year round. You know how that goes.
Yeah, this one guy, Mark Donovan, he probably rats the most in Boston, but he does a lot of it in the summer and spring. I think he just takes a flat out hiatus close to winter. But I mean, he keeps telling me that I won't be able to get anything, so I want to just do it to like prove him wrong a little bit.
You said you wouldn't get anything in the winter?
That's what he said. He said that like he can barely get anything, and then he just gets the. I think also his dog's very short coated. He has a Decker Terrier, so I don't think that dog hacks it that well in the cold. But that being said, my lurcher is kind of the same way. But at the same time, as long as I let him run and move, he's good.
That's true too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not pretty sure. I know for sure he's in the summer or in the spring, early fall. He's definitely seeing way more rats. But I mean, I lived out here, and as far as the city, and there's definitely rats in the winter. Not as you definitely don't see them as much, but you go into the city where there's restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah, there's rats. It doesn't really matter the weather. Not as much though, so I can imagine him saying that and being correct, that couldn't catch as much, but all we could do is try. The dog will still have fun. We'll still have fun.
Yeah, I swear I had like
That's how we
I had like
go ahead.
I had like barking PTSD. Like any little half noise, I'm just like on it. This Doberman's maybe is like so paranoid about barking.
Well, I mean, you're also a trainer too, so your mind goes into trainer mode. Like, oh, gotta get him right.
Yeah, but the thing is that like I'm just not used to like having like the trained dogs with me in the house. Like that shit's just been wild. Because I used to work for a facility where they had the dogs kenneled, and now they're like with me. Like I had a couple dogs with me, but never consistently. And this is the first time consistently I've had that, and
Yeah,
it's kind of just hard to turn it off sometimes.
I believe. I mean, especially yeah. I mean, that's what you do. You've been doing it for a long time, so
Yeah, he is barking. One sec.
yeah, man. But living life dogs. We go live, talk about the Patterdale Terrier. A lot of people know about it. More people don't know about the breed. Well, it's kind of not. I mean, it's not even considered a breed, but that's a conversation we'll have. But yeah, we're live on Wednesdays, if not every Wednesday, every other Wednesday with Marshall, and we talk live Patterdale Terriers.
Yeah, the matter
Today
that
we took,
get on a
huh?
bark. When you start training dogs on a bark collar, they try to change their tone of bark to like not set the collar off. So this dog is literally just like instead of just like the crazy shepherd bark to try to just like not set the collar off.
Hey, can you blame him? Why not? He's trying to beat the system.
Yeah, you can try to beat the system around like 1-2 p.m., not like 10 p.m.
Yeah, the wife's not gonna like that.
Yeah, I mean, plus, I mean, at the end of the day, like I can kind of sleep through it, but it's still annoying. Like you're half asleep and you just hear like the like,
Definitely, that sucks. My next door neighbor, I think I told you before, he got two dogs, and I think I did tell you he got like the doggy hole, so they're just out all night. He just got the doggy door on the side of the house, like
damn.
just cut into the wall. I mean, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but yeah, they could just run out 2 in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning, and just make noise. But it's all good.
Yeah, fuck that though. That would drive me crazy. My neighbor has Shiba Inus, and those dogs when they bark, they sound like they're being beaten. They make like the craziest like squeal noises. Try to leave them out. Those Shiba Inus are mean, man.
Shit, I never really got into them too much.
You're good. I've trained a couple of Shivas. Like they're just so like all of these Yak type breeds are so aloof and standoffish.
That's what I'm hearing.
Those and like Akitas.
Akitas. I like. I never had one. I looked into them a lot. Did a little homework on them and stuff like that, but I never had one. But yeah, I got another video here that's older. This is the Felon Moreland Working Terrier Club film, and obviously this film is, I don't know, who knows, 40 years ago or something like that. But yeah, it was put up on YouTube 4 years ago, and they're talking about a dog, Pep, I think the name is, that was stuck for about 7 days, and they called up the Patterdale Terrier Club. Then I forget where they were at, but wherever they were at then, and the guys came out and helped and stuff. And yeah, we'll play that video real quick. We'll talk about that for a little. Let me pull that up.
We're probably going to see some Jack Russells that have really good looking like heads that kind of look like Patterdales almost too.
And we'll see.
There's like some white Patterdales on there.
I'll start it from right here.
But I couldn't catch the buggers.
That was
On Saturday afternoon at Dyke Nook Quarries near Hebden Bridge in Yorkshire, two Border Lakeland Cross Terriers, Champ and Pip, went underground chasing foxes. Champ surfaced after 2 hours, but Pip did not come when called. By 7 o'clock it was pitch black, and they marked the entrance to the earth, and Steve Lutte, who was Pip's owner, left his coat by the earth as a scent marker. They came back the next morning at 5:30, Monday morning, and they could still hear the dog baiting in the earth. And they dug until it was time to go to work, and they came back after work and dug again until dusk.
Yeah.
Steve contacted the Felon Moreland Terrier Club, and they dug again on Wednesday and Thursday, but with no result. They could still hear the dog, but by this time, of course, she was getting weaker. On Friday, they were joined by the Felon Moreland area rep, Chris Houghton. Together, they got within 18 inches of the bitch, whose bark was weaker after 5 days trapped below ground. Large boulders and darkness stopped further progress. On Saturday, the 3 original terrier men were joined by more volunteers and began moving boulders with a turfer and bars.
Coming out with that. I looked at it. Don't die. We've got to buy that up out with the taps there. Let's just have another one here. Torching the ball. Come on, then. Right, that's it. Come on, then. No, can you film it?
After several hours of back-breaking work, the heartening sight of Pip's face was seen by torchlight through a small crack in the rocks.
There's some open there, all right? Can you see down?
More stone was removed, and Pip, trapped for 6 days, was rescued from certain death.
Good lass. Come on. Come on, Pip. Good lass. Come on. Come on, lass. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Pip. Yeah. Come on, Pip.
Moments after the men were leaving the rescue site, there was a large fall of rock behind them.
Bloody hell. That was close. Oh dear.
Someone smiled on them that day. In all, some 100 tons of rocks were moved to rescue Pip. Steve and all the men on the dig had nothing but praise for Rep Chris Houghton and the Felon Moreland Club for the organization of the rescue, and especially from Steve for the saving of his friend's life. Pip, she was given food and water and quickly recovered. The following day, she was back at work doing a bit of rabbiting. Another pip, this time a red fell terrier bitch, became stuck on a narrow ledge 30 feet from the top of a cliff face in Snowdonia after chasing a hunted fox. Frank Riley, himself a terrier man, was lured by rope to attempt the rescue. There was a 50-foot sheer drop below to the rocks.
On again! Right. Tell us when you want to take in.
High up.
All right, Frank. Stop the dog. Pull it. Stop the dog. He's got the dog. Stop the wood. Keep on going.
Although the arduous task of removing rock or digging was not needed, Frank from the Fell and Moor carried out the rescue in a professional and effective manner. This unassuming man, as many of them are, was warmly congratulated by Pip's owner, Alan Owen, the master and huntsman of the Nant Coal Valley Foxhounds.
Actually, what happened yesterday, Alan? How did the terrier come to get down there, like, or get there?
We were hunting up on that bit of rough ground up there, and we had a fox on the ground, and we bolted him, and he went headlong down that crag, and the little terrier got excited, and she went down after the hounds.
These were just two of the rescues carried out by the Fell and Moorland Terrier Club all over the country. Generally accepted as one of the best breed of terrier, the original Lakeland Terrier has existed in the Lake District for centuries. In the last 100 years, the working Lakeland and show Lakeland have split and now show a marked difference. Fell, Patterdale and Black Terriers are all names given to descendants of the working Lakeland, but they are mostly all called Fell Terriers. To withstand the hard winters and harsh terrain of the fells, they need sufficient length of leg to negotiate rocks and a harsh, dense, weather-resistant coat.
That
Those red fells look nice.
they do. They look those dogs. Those dogs all look crazy. They all look good. Those red fills that look good. But yeah, if you see, like we was talking about as far as earlier we was talking about technology and stuff like that, you see the difference of what they were using in the rocks from like now and back then they were using basically a cranking the rocks out, you know what I mean, to get pep out or whatever. But
They almost died too. That rock thing wholly collapsed at the end. Like that was.
I was thinking like when towards the end when they showed the guy like wiggling the bricks out, and when the dog came out, it was like it was kind of like where the hell was he even at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he must have been up under there, and people, and all of them, that people are risking their lives to get these dogs out, but that's how much people, including us, love our dogs and stuff like that, because it's a lot of time, energy, and like you said, risking their lives, because that last second after you got out, that whole thing fell, and that would have been a bad day.
Yeah. But I mean, all in all, in those situations in the UK, like it looks like they're working their dogs more on cliff and rock sides than like even like most people here do. Like I don't know of anyone else who's purposely hitting those spots.
No, and I mean, they're probably somewhere where that's the land that's where it's at. It's just rocky mountains. You know what I mean? Where out here we have a good enough flat land, and even because there's trails and stuff that we have that they might go 300 feet up and stuff like that, but there's not a lot of game in those areas and stuff like that, so there's really no reason. But and back, you could see by the footage. I don't know how long. Let me see. Does it say in the descriptions what year this was? No. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this was probably, obviously you could tell by the cameras and all that this was years back. You know what I mean? So I guess, back then that's where they hunted. That's the way they hunted. That's where they hunted. But yeah, that's definitely some rocky shit to be hunting in.
Yeah.
I can see dogs getting caught up in there. But yeah, I mean, earth dogs is part of the game. Sucks, but it happens, and sometimes you got to put the work in to dig your dog out. And if you love your dog enough, you're gonna do it as long as you have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it as long as you have to. That's what I get out of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I never have to deal with it, but could happen, might not happen.
The longest dig I did was probably started at like 11 p.m. but ended at like 4 a.m.
Okay, 5-hour dig.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. But we got
Yeah, I mean, even that, because I mean, and then it's stressful. I mean, it's stressful for the owner. It's stressful on the thing, but it's very stressful for the owner, because that you say, okay, you got it out in 5 hours, but those 5 hours probably felt like a fucking day for the owner, because you're scared for your dog now.
It did. 100% did. It was tough, man. But you do what you gotta do.
You don't know if you're at the end of the day, when you're on like that 3rd or 4th hour, or even that, when you're at 4.5 hours, you don't know if you're gonna get your dog out. You know what I mean? It's still 50-50 situation.
For sure is. I think I'm gonna get rolling, man. But it was
man. It's about that time. We rock it for about an hour, so it's about that time. We at 43 minutes now. 15 minutes from an hour, but it's a lot of things we'll talk about. A lot of Wednesdays left, so we'll get back to it. Live Your Life Dogs here with Marshall, Patterdale Terrier Talk. See y'all next time. Marshall, you got anything you want to say?
at the end of the day, man, just like if you're free casting dogs, be safe. Like it's the bottom line for everything he's talked about.
Yeah. Yes. All right, my man. You have a good night. Talk to you soon.